I'm David Zinn. I'm the set and costume designer.
I'm Mark Barton. I'm the lighting designer.
And Peter Negrini, projection designer.
I think ideally you're always interacting and integrating your work with the other design elements. I mean, you know, the audience isn't looking at it and being like, "Oh, beautiful set," you know, terrible costumes. Or ideally, that's not what's going to happen. You know, ideally, what happens is that the curtain goes up and there's a picture there, and they respond to the picture. And you know, all of us are painting that one picture. They're only getting one picture, and so I feel like it's our job to make sure that we're all working together to just make that one picture.
I think it's particularly true with lighting and projection. I mean, we're both ultimately putting light on the stage, and so there's a lot of technical interface that has to happen there, but also aesthetic interface. It's like, you know, we aren't working in two entirely divergent mediums. They are different.
Color is a huge part of the story, and the you know, it's a story which travels a lot of ground, and those changes, I think, are something that we had to kind of illustrate.
It's a kind of world that is filled with color that is constantly changing, and when white comes into it, that's the invasion.
Yeah, the subtraction of color is the big movement. It was clear that we wanted to have a strong, you know, seasonal identity. The transformation being an integral part of this story. Obviously, we wanted to have a strong kind of. We wanted to interpret the changing of the seasons without doing it in a super literal way.
We can allow those transformations to take place across time in this sort of really fluid way, and to sort of, you know, David's given us sort of this palette to work within, and then we can use lighting and projection to actually watch those transformations take place. And I think that's sort of an important part of it. Instead of sort of like, here we are in one place, and then, you know, the main curtain comes in, some scenery knocks around up backstage, and then curtain goes back up and we're in another place. We want to see that journey.
Yeah. It is experiential. It does take place through time, and so we present images and we present parts of this story in time, and hopefully what you're seeing at any given moment is totally appropriate to that moment. And then when it starts to change, the change makes sense, reflecting back on what you've just seen and then what it's turning into, and hopefully that takes you all the way to the end.
I'm Alana Matthews. I'm 16 years old, and I am with the Boston Children's Chorus.
I'm Mia.
I'm Casey.
We're both part of the children's choir in the show, and we act as spirits of drowned children. We're a big part of this opera.
I feel very, very a part of the opera.
And especially the directing staff has been working a lot with us and getting really close to us. We've been in rehearsals with the adult chorus, with the 4 principals, all that type of stuff, and definitely been really close in it, especially because we do have a pretty substantial role, especially for a children's chorus in a show.
I definitely thought it was different from anything we'd ever done.
Well, the 4 pieces that we sing are all a cappella, which is really cool. Because the songs that we do are interspersed throughout the show, we're really there for the whole thing and a part of the entire production, which makes us just, I think, valuable to the entire show.
As storytellers, we helped figure out the language of this piece, and who the adult chorus is, who the children's chorus is, how they interact with Madam Whitesnake. You know, that was stuff that wasn't on the page until we all sat in a room together and started to kind of just, you know, think about the space, and as the space changed, and you know, where we started spatially is very different from where we ended up.
I think Madam Whitesnake looks very interesting. I would definitely want to go see it, for sure. The whole flyer looks cool. Intrigued.
Could you just say your name and your role in the opera?
Robert Woodruff. I'm playing Madam Whitesnake.